Greetings. Hey, it's Susie Q working with my own Akashic Records. And this is a record that I had um, back in 2008. And it was super fun. And I was also working with some of the Akashic Records moving into a poetry forum. And all of that was kind of supporting me. And every morning I would look at some of the poetry and some of the other states of consciousness. And I would just read some of the stories, and then I would start writing my own Akashic records. So we're going to get started right now. So it's focused on the Akashic records when I first started doing this work with automatic writing via Akashic records. Automatic writing engages with the Akashic records as a means of assisting the boots on the ground. Aside from clearing and releasing, we see a higher perspective and set aside patterns, loops, and perpetual tendencies. Overall, you now have a newer way of being, open to higher states of vibrational attunement. Harmonious frequencies are open to those that seek a more evolved state of consciousness. Lay down the stories and awaken to a new paradigm, a pure light energy. This is your beacon of pure light energy. Light onto light welcomes you to a new version of self. You are that light. All right, so that's kind of, I guess, an introduction. I don't even know. I've been writing all this stuff, and they start pairing up. So this is the this one piece that I did back in 2008, and I was definitely in a poetry forum, and I guess there was probably a bunch of them, but I was about the sixth person that was really engaging with the written material. So that was really kind of a fun thing. And I think that publisher was actually in Arizona, but I can't remember his name. It's been a long time ago. All right, so we're going to go into this one piece, and I absolutely freaking love it. All right, so we're going to get started right now. Years in the womb, a creation of something extraordinary, a renaissance of sorts, away from the busy nature of people and places and papers and passions and performing. In the darkness now, a faint and distant light, seemingly miles away, yet close enough to touch, guides to the place, the restful place, for a time of quiet consideration, a renaissance of sorts. Right. So sometimes you have to, if you want to create something, if you want to manifest a creative pursuit or effective action with whatever that you're working with, you've got to just go ahead and start doing something. And so that first day of 2008, I just, started recognizing that I'm getting guidance. I'm getting guidance from another, British woman on the right side. I say that all the time. I don't have it anymore, but the full year of 2008, that British woman was, I was like a typist. Anyway, so that's what's happening. And so even during that time in 2008, um, there were a lot of pivotal things happening. So every morning I would read a little bit of material from other people, and then I would start just kind of accessing, and I'd go into a different state, and then the proper British woman was just right there, and I just was the typist, and so that was the beginning, and then eventually, over time, over 2008, I started to have a different experience with what is real, right? What is real? And so I was back in Dripping Springs, had a 5 acre place, really nice house. And I would go out there on a glider on the front porch, and then I would start looking at the trees. They were oak trees, right? There are a lot of cedar trees, but we took a lot of the cedar trees out, but there was that one or two oak trees that was just kind of really focusing on. the trees, that were right in front of me. And then all of a sudden I could just feel that pulsation of, breathing in and breathing out. It's like the trees and me were in a beautiful space of, here I am. And so every time I looked at the trees, they would just be pulsating and breathing and receiving, and all of that was really giving me more understanding about, like, what is this, what's really happening for me. I'm writing every day. Why am I doing that? And then overall, I started just noticing that there's something, really kind of extraordinary about looking into a deeper way of accessing knowledge. And so, with that piece that I did, that was a beautiful renaissance, a renaissance of sorts. All of that was kind of conspiring for me to come into a different state of consciousness and to go deeper with some of my written material. And I think for each one of us, we have opportunities to kind of like notice, like, what else would you like to do? Are you a writer? Do you like to paint? Do you like to do different types of art? Or do you like to um, go on adventures? When my kids were little, we had a bunch of adventures. Most of the stuff was free, but we had these amazing adventures back then with my kids. And so there could be something else that you want to do. Maybe you want to create a new business. Maybe you want to have a new partner or somebody else that you're seeking to find, right? Or maybe some of the energies around your body, the healing of your body. All of us are kind of like, we're kind of like in and out, sometimes with some things that are showing with the body. And so you just want to just figure out, like, what else do I need to know about my body? And then moving into prosperity, manifestation, abundance, miracles, all of that is showing. So back in 2008, I was kind of like wondering, why was I writing every day? Why was that proper English woman, kind of dictating to me? And what was that about? Well, it could have been some of my guides. It could be my angels. It could be my spirit friends. It could be my past life, my past. It could be my past lives. I'm guessing they're past lives. And some of that is showing up, and for a lot of us. So whatever you're pursuing and desiring to have in your field, the best thing, that what that was for me, was I continued to persevere and write. And so that's what I really did back then. But maybe there's something that you're wishing to create and to find for yourself, to have a better experience, or more fun, or more joy, or more celebratory, anything like that. Transcendence too. I think that transcendence back in 2008 was kind of part of that vibe as well. All right, so that's it. So that's the Akashic Records. It's a renaissance of sorts, and for you, it could be anything you want about your renaissance of sorts. It could be anything that you're working with, creating, your family, your kids, your grandkids, the stars. I mean, it could be anything. So just focus on the joy and pleasure and glory of all of this beautiful earthly school. So we'll see you soon, and namaste.